colors of the rainbow. What do you think? It's Friday.
It is Friday.
It just feels like this. Yeah. Just getting done with work to work. Well, you're not. You got the whole weekend to work, right?
Yeah, I do. I got to work all weekend long.
Oh, well, I mean, hey, it's good money, right?
Yeah.
You know, it always seems like it's feast or famine, doesn't it?
But it seems like it's all taxed, all your overtime.
Oh, yeah, tax. Well, you know, maybe that will come to an end. You know,
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so.
We're here for the working man. We are Morning Crankers. How are you doing out there today?
Hopefully you're doing well, folks.
Yeah, I hope so, too. It's one of those things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's, this just seemed like the proper pick for today.
It does.
Know when to leave and when to follow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How to hide away
Yeah.
my pain.
How to hide away my pain.
Oh, yeah. Of a long week.
Yeah. No.
And a weekend.
Yeah, no, it's a Friday. There's actually a really cool thing going on. Hey, if you got your kids and you want to go check something out, what is the exact name of it? It is something about dinosaurs, like Jurassic World.
It's like a dinosaur exhibit here in Springfield.
Yeah, Jurassic World for the kids. I don't think it gets any cooler than that, if you know what I mean.
Right.
You know, the kids would love it. You'd love it. Get out and go spend some time when it's finally in the 50s again, 60s, you know, maybe coming up. I'm pretty happy. And, you know, a couple days ago they said it was going to rain. I never got one drop where I was at. Did you?
Yeah, we did. We got a little rain where I live.
A little bit of rain?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Yeah, February 28th. Okay. There's not a whole lot of, like, stuff, but there's some. It's National Tooth Fairy Day.
Huh.
You know, why?
Yeah.
Is it because of Valentine's, so your teeth are getting bad from the Valentine's?
I don't know.
National Floral Design Day. Okay. How about this one? National Public Sleeping Day.
Yeah, I'll need that after this weekend.
Okay, if I was to tell you that Springfield, Missouri gives a completely different meaning to National Public Sleeping Day, you would say what?
Well, there's a lot of hard workers here in town, and we work a lot of overtime, so we need that sleep.
Well, that's the truth. I was thinking more like tents and the little clusters of trees everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the National Public Sleeping Day, because there's a lot of people sleeping in the public in
true.
Springfield, Missouri.
I know where you're going with that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of Ozarks around, but you don't know what's in those woods. You know, I was reading about cryptids, and in the 1800s, the late 1800s, in Douglas County or Booger County, Missouri,
Right.
there was a thing called the Blue Man.
Blue Man.
Blue Man. It was
They put together a group, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But it was like this guy supposedly was like 10 foot tall and carried an axe around.
Oh, that's a different type of Blue Man.
Yeah, like the Blue Honganchi.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's also Rare Disease Day in the USA. Rare Disease Day USA. I don't know. What's rare anymore?
Pretty much everything's more prevalent than rare.
I mean, listen to this. And this is so sad. But child in West Texas is the first U.S. measles death in a decade.
Wow.
Okay, and how did we get measles up here again? Well, I mean, it does happen to come around, but let's just be honest here. If certain people from certain areas don't have the things that we have, we're reintroducing this stuff into the U.S., right?
Right. Yeah.
Aren't we?
We are. Yeah.
Okay, there are 124 measles cases confirmed right now in West Texas. What do you think of that?
It doesn't surprise me. We had open borders for how long?
You're right. Well, I had a guy call me this morning. Okay, a guy in the know.
Yeah.
Used to work for USAID, which we're going to talk about here in a second because everybody thinks it's USAID.
Right.
It's USAID. It's not USAID, okay?
Nah.
It's an acronym, and it's one of those very nice words for acronym.
It pretty much is, yeah.
Like,
but it's nothing what people think it is, trust me.
No. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I had him call me this morning, and he says, hey, did you hear about what happened? And I was like, no. An IED went off on the border and blew an American cowboy to smithereens.
Oh, wow.
Did you hear about that?
I did not hear nothing about that.
It was cartel.
Wow.
Cartel put an IED down and bam. So I really, really think that they have no idea what just happened to them, what they did to themselves.
Right.
What do you think about that?
True.
It's
They've opened a can of worms now.
It's sad, especially all this stuff. Like, we could have told you this was going to happen with measles. I mean,
oh, yeah.
It is what it is. Unfortunately, a little child died, and that makes me angry.
Yeah. That's the hardest part.
There's so many things going on in the news right now, and it's so hard to find happy, good, funny stories. Have you noticed that?
I've noticed that, yeah.
There's a lot of death out there. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of hate. There's actually people that are pushing hateful things that aren't actually hateful. I mean, that's what's spinning the news cycle right now, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Division stuff.
Oh, exactly. Division. Say that again.
Division.
We're not talking about like divisions in football. We're talking about just division.
Just stuff to divide the country and divide people's minds and hearts.
Yeah, well, So, I was looking on People magazine, okay, just for fun, because sometimes I like to laugh at idiots.
Yeah.
Okay, and
I could just watch The View.
Well, here's the thing. There's a story in People magazine
Yeah.
about a woman from our area. Okay, and this woman, I was reading about it yesterday. They said that she was spotted in West Plains.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so I don't know how far along this has got. Her name is Belvedere, 95 years old. She was last seen in this article driving in the city of Mountain Home, Arkansas on February 6th, according to police. It says, authorities in Arkansas continue to search for a missing elderly woman who has not been seen since the beginning of February. Belvedere, 95, was last seen driving in the city of Mountain Home on February 6th, according to the local police department. And according to local station KAIT and NBC affiliate KARK, she has been out paying her electricity bill before she went missing. Just vanished.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I think she's driving a Buick LeSabre.
That's what it looks like.
It's kind of tannish gold.
Yeah.
So, folks, if you see an elderly woman, looks like a very nice grandma type, wire rim glasses.
Yeah.
Driving what would that be? A mid-2000s Buick LeSabre?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Early 2000, at least.
If you can talk to her. And if not, at least call the authorities to let them know. I mean, if we could help finding her, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, but it says they literally said it's like she disappeared into thin air.
Huh.
It's kind of like your paycheck, huh?
Pretty much.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But in all seriousness, though, we need to find that woman.
Yes, we do. Belvedere, 95 years old, Buick LeSabre, looks like a very nice grandma type lady. Be on the lookout, folks. Like I said, that last spotting was in West Plains.
Yeah. It sounds like to me she's got dementia or something.
Yeah, they said that she was healthy.
Right.
But, today...
It can happen so quick. Dementia can come on so quick.
Bam. People. Yeah, exactly. Bam. I've seen it happen.
I've seen an older woman with dementia. Boy, they change quick.
Oh, yeah. So... we're talking about U.S. aid.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's any jokes about U.S. aid.
No.
But let me talk about this for a second, because people think U.S. or United States aid. They're thinking, well, we're going to take care of the sick kids and we're going to take care of the hungry kids around the world. And, that's what USAID does. It doesn't. It never has, and it never will. As a matter of fact, the guy I talked to earlier, which happens to be, he worked for a lot of different agencies, but he was the good American bad guy. Is that what you could say?
I would say, yeah.
Okay. And he did things for these, and what the U.S. aid has turned into over the years is just one big slush fund.
After another.
Yeah, not for the American people, but for, what would you say? The malevolent people of the world?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Trump administration said Wednesday it's eliminating more than 90% of the U.S. Agency for International Development foreign aid contracts and $60 billion in overall U.S. assistance around the world, putting numbers on its plans to eliminate the majority of U.S. development and humanitarian help abroad. Okay, the truth is there's not too much humanitarian help there.
Right.
As a matter of fact, when the young ladies from the tribes in Africa, when all of a sudden they couldn't have babies anymore, that was actually done through U.S. aid or the U.S. Agency for International Development. And why is that? I think the first part, the majority of U.S. development, I think people need to know what that is. And, the reason we're bringing this up on a comedy show is because it's so damn funny.
It is.
That more Americans don't know what's actually going on.
Yeah, they think just because it's got aid at the end of it, it means that they're here to help you.
Right. It's kickbacks. It's, hey, you know what? This company, we're going to give you some money to open up a sham shop, and then you can funnel it all back into the U.S. Just make sure you give us some back in our coffers. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly what this is.
Yeah. So, you got to be real careful of what it is.
Yep. Right. And definitely start researching your organizations a little more because it shows you right there, just the name alone, you can't go by.
Right. And you know what I'm excited about? This is the first one to kind of come under audit.
Yeah.
And look what we found in, what is it, 1%, less than 1% of the U.S. budget? Lots and lots of bad money.
Bad money, yeah. And the Doge is finding a bunch of bad money.
Oh, yeah. Department of Government Efficiency.
You love it.
You know what I want? I've
got a little joke here about
okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
What's you said's favorite type of relationship, Hans?
I don't know. What is it?
A public-private partnership.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
I hope you got that. That was a really good one. Oh,
yes.
I don't know if people understood that, but yeah, that's
called nailing it.
Was perfect. Yeah,
nailed that, jackass.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of them. In Congo right now, with everything going on over there, this new mystery illness that's going around Congo. Because we get new mystery illnesses every week, 3 days. What
Seems
is it?
like every other week.
Yeah. Well, now there's 50 people hours. They get it. They feel sick. 50 hours later, gone.
Wow.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
If you want something funny, there's a bunch of people actually resigning rather than dealing with Doge. Why would that be?
Because they don't have an answer to what kind of work ethic. I have a little story about that myself.
Let's hear it.
Talking to my landlord the other day, and one of the other neighbors. Yeah, one of the other neighbors walked over. It was nice outside. It was the first nice day of the year.
Is he a good landlord or?
He's a good landlord.
Good landlord. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to him because you don't find too many of those. You know what I'm saying?
Very good. Well, anyway, the neighbor walked over. He said he had heard a friend of his in Springfield, his son is working in the government like that.
Really?
From home. And I guess his son was complaining that he's going to lose his job. And he asked his son, he said, well, what do you do? He says, I don't even know what I do.
Well,
that's yeah.
Well, hang on a second here.
That right there might be the reason why.
Every blue-collar worker is laughing their ass, or they're crying.
Yeah,
it's one of the two.
I laughed and I was crying too because I was crying because I pay taxes for this guy to sit home and doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, there's some parts of your job that are like a learning experience, but even with the learning experience, you're learning to get to a desired destination.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know where you're going.
He just said he had to open his computer up and fill out a thing online every day, and it was pretty much the same thing every day.
That just kind of blows my mind a little bit.
It does me too.
Hey, I'm ready. So many people are so mad. They're saying now, all these jobs are gone. And I was like, if the jobs aren't doing anything, then why do we have them? I'll give you an example. You go to any factory in Springfield, Missouri, and if there is a job that is not adding to the growth or value of that company somewhere, that job is being cut, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So why are public service jobs different than us? Why is there a different standard for blue-collar workers and white-collar workers? Why is it?
It shouldn't be a double standard. But that's the problem when you got too much government intrusion in people's lives, man.
See, I've heard people literally complain that the city is going to have to start paying people $15 an hour next week. Have you ever tried to live at $15 an hour?
You can't. Not in this economy.
Right. And then they've got the other thing that says, well, most of those jobs weren't meant to be careers.
Well, they're meant to try to make a living, though.
Well, maybe if there wasn't such a wealth disparity between people.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it
makes
is.
sense. I mean, but that disparity is gone. I think we've gone from, instead of poor to middle class to rich, it's all either you're poor or you're rich.
Well, I think so. Is there any middle class anymore?
I think the middle class got cut out years ago.
Well, if you remember that story we did the other day, they were saying to live okay in St. Louis, like to live a mediocre life, $54,000 a year for a single person.
Yeah.
Okay, now add kids into that, add a wife into that, even if...
You can't live like that.
It's pretty hard,
No way.
That's why we do the things that we do, because we love the people.
We do.
No, we're not there yet. I was just...
you getting us warmed up for the weekend.
Yeah, we are. It is what it is.
Temperatures are warming up, so yeah.
So I want to know what you think about this. This has been going around, kind of circulating for a couple of weeks about Missouri. It says political attacks stiffen opposition to Missouri bill protecting pesticide makers. What do you think of that?
Why are we protecting pesticide makers?
You got the farmers that came out and said that it's going to cost them a lot more to do the things that they do if they don't use the pesticides.
Okay.
That's okay. It's herbicide Roundup. They were saying, well, this causes cancer. What do you think? I want to know what you think about Roundup.
Well, yeah, I don't like Roundup.
I mean, is this a choice?
I don't know.
Literally, if it's been proven, and it has been proven.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's just stop beating around the bush.
Right.
Because it makes things cheaper or easier to use it, but it does do this. So why are we even having this conversation?
Really, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the funny part. Like,
it is.
I mean, are you laughing inside that we're actually having the conversation after?
We pretty much both know, and I think everyone knows.
There you go.
That
the
pesticide is a quick way to grow your crops, but there are so many dangers in it.
Yes.
And
I mean, and proven
cancer
ones.
carcinogens that are in the Roundup. Trust me. I know people that have been exposed to Roundup and had cancer from it. So.
Okay, so what they're doing is tort law.
Yes.
Okay. Who knows what tort law is?
Might as well fall off a cliff.
Well, that's right. If you get hurt, if you develop a disease, if you do something, tort law protects the people that caused it.
Yep.
Okay, there's tort law for doctors. There's tort law for... like if a city did something that caused you problems, like here's the thing. If you go in and a doctor shows up drunk and does something stupid, they're protected by tort law. So you could have $4 million worth of damage to your body, but you could only sue them for $150,000.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing with this bill.
Agree.
They're taking this and saying, okay, we're not saying it's good. We're not saying it's bad. It's Bayer Company, for crying out loud.
Right.
It's Bayer.
Yeah.
Okay? It says the stakes are enormous for Bayer. In 2023, Cole County, 3 plaintiffs were awarded $1.56 billion through a judge, and then it was later reduced to $622 million. So why are we having this conversation if it's bad? Why are they tort reforming this, saying... It's okay because a big guy needs to be able to make... I mean, what is the deal here?
Why we're having the conversation, Hans.
Yeah, let's do it.
Why we're having the conversation is because we're trying to expose the evilness of them saying, oh, it's okay to go ahead and use Roundup or whatever on your crops.
Right.
But there's a double standard there, right?
Right.
Because we know that it's a big cancer carcinogen.
It is. And listen to this. There are tens of thousands of additional lawsuits pending across the United States.
Yeah.
Bayer has already paid out $10 billion with a B.
Yes.
$10 billion in
it.
jury awards and settlements.
I believe it.
Okay, so this stuff
Yeah.
is so bad
Yeah.
that a company literally had to pay out $10 billion to juries, but we're keeping it around. We're using it instead of getting rid of it and saying, no, and being innovative and coming up with something better or maybe different equipment or something.
Something that's safe to the...
Instead of doing that, what we're doing is we're saying, okay, well, you just can't sue for this now.
Right.
And we're going to make it cheap enough for them to still make money in paying these lawsuits. Is that not
That
like
is-
super disgusting?
That does. That sounds exactly right, though.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. People are hurting. Speaking of hurting, there was a Missouri woman that just pled guilty to federal charge. Have you heard about this?
No.
This is how bad people are hurting. People are trying to sell Graceland.
Oh, wow.
Literally. A Missouri woman pled guilty Tuesday to a federal charge accusing her of concocting a brazen plot to defraud Elvis Presley's family by trying to auction off his Graceland mansion and property before a judge halted the mysterious foreclosure sale.
Huh.
What do you think?
That's great.
What do you think of this?
Wow.
I mean,
desperation mode, man.
Yeah, brazen. Is brazen the word here?
Yeah.
Concocting. I mean, I want to know the type of mind frame that you got to be in to say, you know what? I really need some money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that Graceland is in foreclosure and I'm going to sell it to the highest bidder. You have to have some brazen balls. Yeah, well, in this situation, not so much.
Yeah.
But you have to be brazen. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying. Especially when you're not related to Elvis Presley.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
And even if you were related to Elvis Presley, I think, wouldn't it be the wife that would take over? And then I think she's passed on, right?
Oh, yeah, she's passed on. But
it would be the daughter or
it'd be the
son
granddaughter or grandson
son
now. Right.
that would take over. So, yeah, either way, it's very brazen of what they did.
Well, I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like all this stuff, do people not see?
Yeah.
Did you see where I went with that?
Right. Yeah.
They not see.
Yeah.
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 What's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't you see?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a fake lender, fabricated loan documents, fraudulent foreclosure notice in a Memphis newspaper announcing the auction of Graceland in May 2024. Okay. Now, I just saw a guy talking about this 2 months ago saying Graceland can't even be foreclosed on because there is a cemetery there with family members on it, which makes it exempt from government foreclosure.
Yeah, it does.
Now,
yeah.
I don't know if that's true. That's just what I've been told.
I believe that's true.
So I'm not saying, I'm just, kind of saying.
Right.
So I'm actually pretty excited. Now, we see stuff going on right now, man, that you don't see anymore. Like, did you hear about in Philadelphia, cars just driving down the road, right?
Right.
And supposedly there was a broken 6-inch water pipe,
Yeah.
and the car fell all the way in the sinkhole.
Oh,
Did you see what happened in Detroit? This is a couple weeks ago.
no.
A water main broke. It flooded the streets. Okay, and I'm talking like mid-level of a truck door.
Wow.
I think it was an 18-inch water main. So it floods, but it gets so freaking cold, it freezes the streets, and all the cars are frozen in place in like a whole 5-block area.
That's wild.
This isn't America.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We're talking about infrastructure here. Okay, so things are getting a little weird. You know what I'm saying?
A little weird.
You want to
the
hear
least.
something else super weird?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so the U.S., they came out and they said, you know what, Ukraine, we're going to help you out more than we already have on the backs of Americans at the tune of $280 billion,
Right.
of which they can only account for $110 billion. But that's a whole nother conversation, right?
Right.
They go out and they say, hey, Ukraine, for mineral rights, this is what we'll do for you.
Right.
Okay. Now, most of the important minerals are in the northeast side of Ukraine.
Right.
Well, guess what isn't occupied by Ukraine right now?
Oh, Russia?
The northeast side.
Yeah. Russia's
It's taken
not
over
there.
by Russia.
Yeah.
So Russia heard that the U.S. was negotiating with Ukraine for the mineral rights in that area. And Russia turned around, and I thought this was a joke at first, but then it was on NBC News, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Russia has offered the United States a deal for minerals in Ukrainian territory it has seized. Where do you go from here? What do you say? You know what I'm saying? I mean, is that not like the most political opportunism you have ever seen in your whole life?
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, I want to get this war over. I so badly want to get this war over. I
Right.
want the privateers and the war hawks
Yes.
that are trying to make money on this from America. We don't need to make money on it. I just want our money back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Get those kids that are in a war-torn country, get them home, get all the wives. You know,
Yep.
they pretty much took all the women out of Ukraine.
Right.
And there's a whole generation of men gone.
Wow.
Okay? Get them back on their feet. You know, get them in Russia with all their stuff. Get them to stop. But I can tell you right now, there are Americans salivating at the rare earth minerals that are in Ukraine
Right.
right now. And after they did that, you know what I think?
Yep.
It is what it is. Now, to wrap up the show for your beautiful Friday show, I want to talk about two things. Tom Hardy confronts his past in trailer for new Netflix crime thriller, Havoc. I'm so excited about this. He's kind of like one of those detectives that has had a bad past and he's got to face it. So he's like, what is it, the anti-hero?
Yeah.
Okay, but two of my most favorite actors, Tom Hardy is in this, and Forrest Whitaker.
Huh.
What do you think of that?
That's an all-star cast right there, isn't it?
Oh, man. Timothy Oliphant and Justin Cornwell, Jesse May Lee, and Luis Guzman round out the cast. This is going to be epic, and
Yeah.
it starts in April.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's very few that get better.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I've been waiting on 1923 for 2 years,
Yes.
and I watched it the other night, and there was more sex in the first 3 scenes of 1923 than all of the other Westerns that I've ever watched put together.
Wow.
I mean, it was kind of disappointing. I mean, somewhat in a way not disappointing,
Right.
you know, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
You just wasn't used to that cowboy way going that way, right?
Well, yeah, it was, and it was the other way.
The other
in,
way.
In
right.
scene
I get
2,
you.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
yeah. We're going to make
yeah.
that clear.
Yeah, anyways, so just be careful if you watch 1923. Mark it on the calendars, Tom Hardy in Havoc. Oh, I can't wait. Now, you have some movie information you found out too, didn't you?
Yeah, we got a movie coming out for DC Comics called Clayface.
Clayface.
Yes,
Oh, Clayface. Let me think. Clayface was in something else.
he was.
He was a character. What was he in?
Batman,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
one of Batman's arch enemies, then became later on they became partners.
Well, yeah, so Clayface is actually coming out.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're not actually dealing with Marvel right now. We're actually dealing with DC.
DC, which is a change, really.
Yeah, because it's been Marvel, and then
yeah.
we had Marvel and DC together for a minute, and then
yeah.
now DC.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me a little bit about it. What's going on with it?
Oh, it's just they get the movie coming out, and possibly they don't know who's going to be cast as Clayface yet.
Okay.
But I guess they're looking at the gentleman from what was his name?
I can tell your age is setting in.
It is. Oh man, I'm trying to remember the kid's. He ain't a kid, but he was a kid when he was on Harry Potter. It's the guy that played Harry Potter. So
He's gonna be Clayface?
I think they're talking about him possibly being Clayface.
Ah.
You know who I'm talking about now?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name either, but it's not because of my age.
Nah.
Well, anyways.
Well, anyway,
I mean, could that work?
I don't know. Knowing the kid that played in that Harry Potter movie, I don't see how it's going to work. But
Yeah, that's a weird one to me.
yeah, it is me too. But yeah, we're getting my mic adjusted again, folks. Yeah.
Yeah, did you hear that? It was
Yeah,
like
it did.
this.
Yeah, it did. It had that little off sound. So.
Yeah, it's just weird. But Clayface, I mean, that's pretty awesome.
He is, and what I wanted to tell you about him too. He is the first ever shapeshifter villain.
I was going to say, he can take on the form of anybody. That's like molding clay. That's why I call it Clayface,
Pretty
right?
cool. Yeah, and guess what his kryptonite is?
What is it?
Water. Water causes his body to break apart, it says.
Well, maybe they should just start calling them rabies. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Well, folks, you have a wonderful weekend. We love you. We will be back sharp 5 a.m. on Monday.
Yep.
We're going to have a
Wisconsin cheese.
full show of nothing but laughter and happiness and, whatever else you want to take from it. Oh, yeah.
Take a donut break, guys. Get you a cup of coffee.